Hello everyone, Almin with you again with the second part of this video tutorial where I'll be covering how to create this cool 3D map in 3ds Max, which is actually just a representation of a visual representation of the recent Australian fires and the regions that have been affected the most. So as I previously explained in the first part, we have been covering how to create this. Now we're gonna just use the same settings, but we're gonna now be importing different map into our displace modifier. So we click first on displace modifier, and if we remove the map of the existing terrain, you'll see that we're gonna have just a flat section. Now what we're gonna be importing here is this picture of the Australian recent fires. Please note here that this was original picture. So what I just did, I cleaned it up. I put it in Photoshop and deleted all the surrounding things, and just saved it as PNG. That's important. So if you just select that one, drag and drop into, yeah, so that should be the right one. Now we note that we will have to just reduce the, if we go to plane, we can just play a little bit with the size of the plane here, and if we turn on those modifiers back, yeah, so UVW map, in order to remove those borders that are visible here, we're gonna just be heading onto the displace modifier, and we find the length and the width. We're just gonna make it look a bit more realistic. So yeah, just maybe increase it a little bit more. Or just turn those two, actually let's leave that one on. And if we head onto plane, and we can reduce the, okay, so that's the trick. So we reduce the size and the width of the plane, and it looks better now. Now we're gonna just have to play a little bit, because this is like kinda not the best representation now. So we're cutting a bit here of the, so if we maybe adjust the width a little bit, so we just see the whole thing. Yeah, that's the whole map now. So if we head on to displace modifier back now, and we increase the height a little bit, we'll start seeing the red section of the on the tops. So that's a bit better. So this is kind of a very cool representation of the recent Australian fires. But we'll just be heading onto the our materials tab a little bit, and we're gonna just be scrolling this down. Let's scroll this down a little bit, so we see more of a, or if we create a red color in here, another red color in there, yeah, so this will be much better now. So as you can see now, that's the final image. So you can further render this, or if you wanna cut the rest so it looks a bit better, you can do that in Photoshop easily. Or the other thing we can do here in order to clean this up a little bit is we can, if we click on this on the plane, and if we go to plane, and if we convert this into editable poly, and just give it a bit of a sec, yeah, and then if we click on, let's say, polygon, And maybe if we head up onto our top view, we'll probably be able to select those paths that are unnecessary from here. So that is basically one way of selecting it, little by little, square by square. Or if we want to do it very quick, we can come up here and select this freehand selection mode, and if we zoom in a little bit, we'll be able to run across the border, and for example just delete it from here, and like this. This is probably the quickest way to get rid of all of those elements that we don't need actually to see in this map, because the main thing here is to show the areas that are affected by the fires, and is not anything else. So if we just so that's fairly quick. Well, for the exercise we don't have to be 100% correct, and we'll just speed the process a little bit. Yeah, so that's, if we jump back to our 3D view, so that is how the final image should look like. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll be with you very shortly with another video tutorial.